Welcome back to Darshan channel. Today we will be discussing what immediate inference are, and then we also will be discussing conversion, obversion and contraposition in detail. Before moving on to the conversion, obversion and contraposition, we will be discussing immediate inference. So to understand immediate inference, we have to see that it refers to drawing a conclusion from a given proposition statement without needing of any further premise or reasoning step, meaning that we can find the conclusion by using just one premise. So if we have premise 1, and then we can directly draw the conclusion from that. It's logical process where the truth or falsity of one proposition can directly lead to the truth or falsity of another proposition, meaning that if we know the value of premise is true, so we can know the value of we can find the truth value of the conclusion as well. In traditional logic, immediate inference typically involves manipulating a single categorical proposition. So all dogs are mammals, so again in single categorical propositions. So let's see the next slide. Immediate inference and mediate inference. So inferences में दो है, so this should be also clear. Immediate में, as we have already discussed, an inference that is directly from one premise without the mediation of any other premise, and the kinds are conversion, obversion, contraposition. Mediate meaning directly from one premise. We draw the conclusion directly from one premise. Now in case of mediate inference, any inference drawn from more than one premise. So syllogistic में आपका दो premise होता है, and if we have more than two, then it is non-syllogistic. So 2, 3, 4, 5 जितना भी आपका है, then that will fall under the non-syllogistic. So these are the difference between the immediate and mediate inference. Now let's try to understand each concepts in detail. So let's start first with the conversion. So in case of conversion, it involves the switching of subject and the predicate place. So if you'll see a categorical proposition जो standard है, that is all SSP. Let's just take the example all SSP. So we have a quantifier, subject term, copula and the predicate term. So in case of conversion, what we'll be doing is we'll be just switching the place. So this works for certain types of preposition. So it is not applicable to all preposition, and we'll see the reason also. And the rules governing the distribution of terms must be observed. So again, this is also important. Chaliye, let's start first with the A preposition. So in case of A preposition, so what should be the case? If we can simply find all SSP. So इसका conversion क्या होना चाहिए? All P is S. But यहाँ पे we see that this is not possible, and let's see the reason also why it is not possible. So then example is given here. Example is all dogs are animals, and the conclusion here is all animals are dogs. So this is not true, right? This is false. Even if let's suppose all dogs are animal, which is actually true, but all dogs are animal, that is false. So again, if we try to understand the same thing by using a Venn diagram, we can find that if this is the subject and this is the predicate, तो ये वाला part आपका shade हो जाएगा, right? But if you see all animals are dogs, so this part, and this is subject, this is predicate, so this part will be shaded. So again, if we see using a Venn diagram also, we find that this is not valid and it is not logically equivalent. Now what do you understand by logical equivalent? Meaning that if the premise is true, the conclusion should also be true. That is logical equivalent. So there are two propositions which are logically equivalent only if their truth values are same. Chalo, next move to the conversion of A. So in conversion of A, what we'll be doing is we'll be all से आपका जो A preposition है उससे आपका I preposition बन जाएगा. So all SSP, therefore some P is this. Subject and predicate का place change है, but at the same time we are changing from A preposition to I preposition. Therefore it is by limitation. So again, this is important. It is by limitation, and we know the reason, right? कि कैसे by limitation है. If you see the example, all dogs are animals, and some animals are dog. So again this is true. So if we see that these two are logically equivalent in nature. Now let's move to the E preposition. So in E preposition there's no problem. So if it is this part S and P एंड द कन्वर्स अगर आप देखते हो सो उस केस में एस एंड पी में यही पार्ट आपका शेड होगा. सो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम हियर. नो डॉग्स आर कैट्स एंड नो कैट्स आर डॉग्स. सो अगेन द प्रेडिकेट एंड सब्जेक्ट प्लेस इज बीइंग चेंज्ड. Let's move to the next case. In the next case we have I preposition. In case of I preposition, some S is P, some P is S. So in conversion there's just one step. So subject and predicate का place आपको change करना है. So example given है some dogs are friendly, some friendly creatures are dog. So again if you'll see subject and S and P, so this will be the part, right? And again यहाँ पे subject predicate है. So again in the conversion also, and if you see both the Venn diagram, दोनों का Venn diagram आपका same है. Now the last case is very important because in case of O preposition conversion is not possible. Now let's see some S is not P, therefore some P is not S. And let's see the example. Some dogs are not friendly. So this is O preposition. Some friendly creatures are not dog. So again this is not logically equivalent. This does not mean the same thing, right? And even if we try to show by Venn diagram, so again in the first case some dogs are not friendly. So again ये आ जाएगा. And in the second case if we do the conversion of it, so some friendly creatures are not dogs. So आपका ये part हो जाएगा. So again by Venn diagram also it's clear that it is not valid, it is invalid in nature. Now before moving to the next case, that is obversion, we have to understand the difference of class and class complements. So class is easy to understand. It is a collection of all objects that have a certain common attributes. Certain common attribute जैसे कि यहाँ पे example है voters. So voters का एक आपका class है. So complement उसका क्या होगा? Non-voters. So complementary class or complement the collection of all things that do not belong to the given class. So जो given class को belong नहीं करते हैं, that is the complement class. So again this is very important for obversion and contraposition. Now in case of obversion you have to keep in mind that we will be following two steps here. So the first step is we change the quality. Quality meaning that अगर आप affirmative है negative, negative है affirmative, so the quality is being changed. And the second step is replace the predicate with its complement. जो आपका predicate term है वो आपका complement से change हो रहा है. Now let's see change the quality. First step is change the quality. So for A and E the quantifier will be changing. जैसे कि if you have all तो वहाँ पे आपका नो हो जाएगा, क्वांटिफायर में चेंज हो जाएगा, या नो होगा तो ऑल में आपका चेंज हो जाएगा. एंड इन केस ऑफ आई एंड ओ प्रपोजिशन यहाँ पे आपका कॉपुला में चेंज होगा. जैसे सम एस इज पी, सम एस इज नॉट पी, राइट? नॉट पी मीनिंग यहाँ पे कॉपुला में आपका चेंज हो रहा है. एंड एट द सेम टाइम यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द सेकेंड स्टेप ऑल्सो विच इज रिप्लेस द टर्म विद द कॉम्प्लीमेंट दैट इज नॉन. ठीक है, तो एक कॉम्प्लीमेंट से आप रिप्लेस करते हो इस चीज़ को. सो लेट्स सी द फर्स्ट केस एंड इट विल बी क्लियर. सो obversion of A preposition. So in case of A preposition all SSP. So there are two steps. First जैसे भी आपका all है which is affirmative उसको आप negative में change करते हो, no में change करते हो. So यहाँ पे आपका quantifier में change हो रहा है, subject as it is and then लास्ट में जो आपका प्रेडिकेट है उसमें नॉन पी विच इज कॉम्प्लीमेंट क्लास. तो ये आपका कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री क्लास नॉन पी से आप चेंज करोगे. एंड ऑल डॉग्स आर मैमल्स, सो नो डॉग्स आर नॉन मैमल्स. सो अगेन नो आ गया, मीनिंग दैट ऑल डॉग्स आर मैमल्स. सो इफ यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग इट मीन्स द सेम, ऑल डॉग्स आर mammals. So if you see the diagram also, it S and P का डायग्राम. सो यहाँ पे दिस पार्ट विल बी शेडेड, A preposition. And for the conversion, what would be the case? So again it means the same things, right? No no आपका meaning that dogs are not mammals. So ये आपका फिर से shade हो जाएगा SNP. So you can find that आपका जो Venn diagram है that is also same. Now again obversion case में you have to remember the two steps, but the good thing about it is applicable to all four cases. जो all four preposition है उसमें applicable है. There's no limitations here. So the next step is no SSP, and again यहाँ पे आपका quantifier change होगा and then complement term से आप change करोगे in preposition. So यहाँ पे remember the two steps. First जो आपका quality है वो change होगा and the second step is non-P. So no dogs are cats. No dogs are cats. All dogs are non-cats. So again if you'll see the diagram also it will be same. यहाँ पे आप shade करोगे and in case of the obversion also it will be the same. Non-cats, right? All dogs are non-cats. Now let's see the I preposition. I preposition में remember there would be change in the copula part. So some यहाँ पे आपका change नहीं होगा. Quantifier में change नहीं होगा. Some S is non-P. ओके यहाँ पे there's a small mistake. यहाँ पे non आना चाहिए, ठीक है? Not non-P. So again this is now correct. Not non-P. So please make change यहाँ पे. Some dogs are friendly. Therefore some dogs are not non-friendly. ठीक है? Not non meaning that some dogs are friendly only, right? So this is the obversion. So if this is true, this is also true, meaning that they are logically equivalent. So again this is also a very important term, logically equivalent, meaning ये आपका true है तो this will also remain true. Now let's move to the O preposition. Some S is not P. So यहाँ पे not आपका हट जाएगा and then you're replacing it with non-P. So same goes with the example. Some dogs are not friendly. Some dogs are non-friendly. So it means the same, right? And if you draw the Venn diagram also, S and P ka. So again in the first case that is some S is not P, the cross will be here, and in case of some dogs are non-friendly also it will be the same. So S and P का केस में it will be same. Venn diagram के हिसाब से भी this is logically equivalent. Now the next one is contraposition. So again contraposition में if you will see the diagram you will be able to understand that what we have to do is we have to do two steps. First we have to switch and second replace with the term complement. So again you know what complement terms are. So two things, switch and replace. So switching the subject and predicate term, that is the first step, and the second is replacing the subject and predicate terms with their term complements. So generally जो आपका quantifier है, copula है, उसमें changes नहीं होना चाहिए. Just switch and replace with the term complement. Let's start with the first case. In the first case, which is A preposition, what we have to do is all S is P. So all S is P में we have to replace switch non-P non-S, and then आपने non भी साथ में use किया. Switch and replace it with the term complement. So if you remember the steps, it is easy. You don't have to remember all the you don't have to memorize everything if you know the steps. So all dogs are mammals, all non-mammals are non-dogs. So this is the case. And now यहाँ पे in case of contraposition we have some limitation, especially जो आपका second part है उसमें we have limitation. So the limitation here is some no SSP, and then we have therefore some non-P is not non-S. So some non-P is not non-S, meaning that यहाँ पे आपका no होना चाहिए था, right? No non-P is not non-S, but that is not possible. So it is by limitation. So आपका जब भी E preposition है वो आपका O preposition में change होगा. So this is something which you have to remember. No dogs are cats. Some non-cats are not. यहाँ पे अगेन आई फॉरगॉट नॉट, सो प्लीज नोट डाउन, यहाँ पे आपका नॉट आएगा. सम नॉन कैट्स आर नॉट नॉन डॉग्स. सो अगेन दिस इज important, नॉट नॉन डॉग्स. Let's move to the next case. In I preposition, it is not valid. Contraposition is not valid in I preposition. So some S is P, some non-P is non-S. So again this is invalid. Some dogs are friendly, some non-friendly creatures are non-dogs. ठीक है. सो ये आपका कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा, इसमें फैलेसिव इलिसिट कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन होगा. सो अगेन दैट इज इनवैलिड इन नेचर. सो अगेन यू हैव टू रिमेंबर आई प्रपोजिशन में इट इज इनवैलिड. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट ओ प्रपोजिशन में. ओ प्रपोजिशन में अगेन इट विल रिमेन ओ, सम नॉन पी इज नॉट नॉन एस. सो अगेन not non-S O preposition, and then you are switching and replacing it. If you'll see the example here, some dogs are not friendly. It will be it would be some non-friendly creatures are non-dogs. So again, two steps important here. First is switch and then replace with the term complement. So again, these are the two things which you have to remember. Now let's see the overview of what we have completed so far, that is conversion, obversion and contraposition. By using all this information, let's try to solve the expression. What we have to do is we have to state the converse of the proposition and then indicate which of the terms are equivalent, meaning logically equivalent. So uske liye what you have to do first is you have to identify. You have to identify, जैसे know people who are considerate of others or reckless drivers who pay no attention to the traffic regulators. So you have to identify that this is the subject, this is the copula and this is the predicator, and at the same time make sure you remember this part. So again, this table is very important, so you can note it down, you can take a print out of it. So this table is very important because it is the overview. So if you see that this is in the form of no S is P. So I'm not writing everything. So this is in the form of no S is P. And you know, if you see in case of conversion, what you do is you just replace, right? So no, and then यहाँ पे आपका P आ जाएगा, is S. So this is how you have to solve. So it will become no reckless driver who pay no attention to the traffic regulators are people who are considerate of others. So this would be the conversion. And in conversion again you have to remember two things. A preposition में it will be changed into I by limitation. बाकी में कोई problem नहीं है. And in case of O preposition it is not possible. Now let's see the second case. Second case में we have some meaning that I preposition or O preposition. Some professional wrestlers are elderly people who are incapable of doing an honest day's work. So again you will see that यहाँ पे you have the subject term and then subject term, copula, and then you have the predicate term, and this is I preposition. So I preposition meaning that some S is P. So some S is P का obversion क्या होगा? Some P is S, meaning that some, I'm not writing everything, but in exams you have to write. You have to write the whole statement. You have to write some people who are incapable of doing an honest day work are professional wrestlers are elderly people. So again you just simply have to switch the place and write. So this is also important. Next we have obversion. Now obversion is applicable in all four preposition, categorical preposition. So the first one we have some college athletes are professionals. So again we have two steps. First one is we change the quality, and the second is complementary term. So यहाँ पे आपका आ जाएगा some, and then यहाँ पे same college athletes are, and then if you remember not, I preposition आपका O preposition में आ जाएगा. So it will become not and then non and then professionals. So some college athletes are not non-professional. So again, is that logically equivalent? Yes, it is logically equivalent. So the same goes for the other cases also. It is logically equivalent. Now let's see another question in obversion. In case of obversion, no. So again, no SRP. So again, it's easy. So no. Sorry. So यहाँ पे it won't be no. So it will be all. All genuses are, and then non-conformist. ठीक है. So if we'll write conformist, so all no है तो all में change कर दिया, and यहाँ पे non से आपने replace कर दिया. Now let's see the obversion of the next case. यहाँ पे again it is a preposition, all, ठीक है. Object suitable for the boat anchors. So again the subject terms are object that weigh at least 5 pounds. So यहाँ पे all SRP के फॉर्म में है. So it will be changed into no. उसके बाद the same thing, object suitable for boat anchors, इसमें ऐसा कोई change नहीं होगा, are, and then यहाँ पे what you have to do is, यहाँ पे you have to replacement object that do not, ठीक है. objects that, यहाँ पे non objects मत लगा देना, यहाँ पे objects that do not weight at least 5 pounds. ये आप change कर सकते हो. Now let's move on to the next case. So यहाँ पे what we have done, no objects suitable for the boat anchors are objects that do not weight at least 15 pounds. So again this is important, this is an important. यहाँ पे non objects मत करना. So again that is important. Okay, next one is contraposition again. So again the same similar question आपका है contraposition. All things weighing less than 50 pounds are objects not more than 4 feet. So again all है तो it will remain all, and then things weighing less than 50 pounds are object not more than 4 feet high. So यहाँ पे again you know that all SP will be changed into all non-P is non-S, इसमें change हो जाएगा. So यहाँ पे all, and then this is the predicate part, so this will come here. So it will be all objects more than 4 feet. यहाँ पे not है तो not आपने हटा दिया, right? So more than 4 feet high are things weighing 50 pounds. Less than है ना, तो यहाँ पे आप कर सकते हो more than कर सकते हो, यहाँ पे change करके more लिख सकते हो, ठीक है. So it will be all, and then objects more than 4 feet high are things weighing less के जगह more than 50 pounds. चलिए, now contraposition again the same all. This is so easy. Non pessimist are non journalist. So यहाँ पे again the same thing will remain. all है तो आपका all ही रहेगा. चलिए, now let's move to the next case. Next case में what you have to do is the truth and falsity is already given, ठीक है. So it is already given that all socialists are pacifist is true. Now what we have to do is, this is the question. Now we have to infer about the truth or falsity of the following proposition. So we have to find whether this particular proposition is true or false. And how can we do that? So to do that, first we have to write. So again, these are the steps which are important. First you have to write the same all socialists are pacifist. So these are the questions I have taken from IM copy. So what you have to do is, this is given true. So you have to write side mein this is given true. So these questions are very important. The first step is all socialists are pacifist, and then you simply have to write this is already given as true. Now what do we need here? We need non-pacifist, and you know कि आपका non कहाँ आता है in case of obversion. So A का obversion करना है. A का obversion is no, and then socialist are non-pacifist. Non-pacifist. ठीक है, so I'm not writing पूरा pacifist. So again this is also true because this is true, so this also has to be true because these are logically equivalent and true. And यहाँ पे आपने क्या use किया? You have to write by using what? Obversion. So you have used obversion here. So again this is important. All socialists are pacifists. This is given true, and then no socialists are non-pacifists. Again true by obversion. So ये जो आपका statement है, therefore, so this particular statement, no socialists are non-pacifists, is true. ठीक है, तो ये आपका true आ गया. Similarly, let's try to solve the next question. All socialists are pacifists is true. So this is easy. You can directly find the value of no. Some socialists are not pacifists without using conversion or version. So if you know the value of A preposition as true, what will be the value of O preposition? O will be false by using the traditional square of opposition. So simply write all, and then you write socialist are pacifist. So again side में what you have to write? Given true. And then the next step will be, you can directly write some socialists are not pacifist is also false. It is false, right? Because we are not using conversion or version here. Isliye this is directly false. And what is the reason? Because it is contradictory. Okay, so if you remember, A and O preposition are contradictory, so you simply write the reason also. So यहाँ पे the only thing which is important is that you have to write what is given as true, and then you also have to write the contradictory of the term. Now some merchants are not pirates, so again let's try to solve this one. This is some merchants are not pirates. So again this is what you will do, you will simply write this is given true. Now if you will see here, all known merchants are non-pirates. So again यहाँ पे in case of this particular not है, right? Not meaning that this is O preposition. अगर आप O preposition में contraposition लगाते हो, then it will change. Some are not non-merchants, but you have to match the subject and the predicate term also. Even if you want to use the traditional square of opposition AEIO, तब भी आपको मैच करना होगा सब्जेक्ट के टर्म में. जैसे इस पर्टिकुलर केस में इफ यूल सी सोशलिस्ट है, पैसिफिस्ट है, तो सब्जेक्ट प्रेडिकेट आपका सेम है. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे इफ यूल सी नॉन पायरेट्स एंड नॉन पैसिव, सब्जेक्ट प्रेडिकेट आपका सेम नहीं है. सो फॉर दिस व्हाट वी कैन डू इज वी कैन यूज कन्वर्जन चेंज करने के लिए. बट अगेन यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस इज ओ प्रपोजिशन, एंड ओ प्रपोजिशन में कन्वर्जन जो है आपका is not possible, right? Conversion is not possible. So in such cases what you can do is, in such cases, change the color. So some non-pirates are not non-Martians. So again this is also true. So you can simply write this is true by using contraposition. So side में you have to write these things. These are very important. But at the same time यहाँ पे you can write all non-merchants are not pirates. So again यहाँ पे therefore all non-merchants are not pirates. You cannot determine, so you are not able to determine the value. So by using the information you are not able to determine whether it is true or false. So just write it is undetermined. You are not able to determine the value of it.